everyone, it's Grace here, and in this opportunity, I would like to take you through the Whova Mobile App. The first thing you want to do is to make sure that you already install Whova in your mobile app. If you're an Android user like me, you can go install the application through Play Store, or if you're an Apple product user, you can also do that in your App Store. So here, I already searched for Whova and I already installed it. But if you haven't, the button that says open will ask you to install the application first. So since I already installed the app, I will click on open. And here it is. Now I need to do a sign in to the event. So I'll click on that. The current share screen is now hidden because for security reasons, because I need to enter my email and it's kind of a personal information. After I add my email and my password, Whova will send a verification code, and this code will expire within 10 minutes. So it will be very handy if you have your email accessible to you while you're doing this process. So I'm going to check, and I will open my email. And I will see that Whova has sent a verification code to me. I did log in a few times today, so that's why there's a lot of them. But if this is your case as well, go find the most recent code. And this is mine. So I will just copy that. And then I will go back to Whova and paste my code. And then click verify. And here it is. I've successfully logged into my mobile app, and this is my home page. The Whova homepage have a lot of information indeed. There is the event banner, the event name, of course, location, and there's also a map of the University Malaya where our in-person conference site is. And then I can also choose whether to view the event, the agenda later in my time zone, which is Indonesia, or in the event time zone, which is in Malaysia. It would be easier for you if you're attending virtually to have it in your time zone. And then if you're later planning to come in person, to then switch it in the event time zone in Malaysia. Now, because I'm also a presenter, I will be speaking in the orientation. I have this thing called Speaker Hub. This will be not available for you who are only attending the conference, but this is basically menus that can help you with your session. So you can see what session you're going to be speaking in and who are the audience. You can see if you have any questions for your session. You can promote your session to social medias by the provided graphics that Whova had prepared for you, and so on. And then there's also additional resources that you can access. You can see photos posted by other attendees. You can see documents that organizers post for you. You can see surveys, session Q&A, and so on. But maybe the main thing that we want you to pay attention to is my profile, because the first thing you would want to do while you use this app is to complete your profile so that other attendees can get to know you better in this conference. So to edit your profile, you can see that under my name, there's a pencil button that says edit profile. Just click on that. And there you go. You can basically customize a lot of information, like changing your profile picture or changing your affiliation, your education, perhaps interest, location. You can add your resume if you want. As you can see, there's a lot of things you can do to let people get to know you better. Now, the next question would be, where do we find the sessions, right? And how do we see the schedule within the 2-week conference? So you can do that by accessing the agenda feature. So the features that are available in the Whova mobile app is actually the ribbon you see below. So the part which says home, agenda, attendees, community, and messages. Those are the things you can do inside the Whova mobile app. To answer your question about sessions, we can see that in the agenda feature. So again, because I'm a presenter, I am able to see rehearsal sessions, but if you're only attendee, you can just skip it and change the dates into the first day of the conference, which is Monday, the 20th of April. Now, we see the choice to change or switch the time zone again, which would not change anything for me because my current time zone and the event time zone is the same. But this will do wonders for you if you are like a few hours different from Malaysia. And you can also change to different dates if you want to see what's happening. For example, in the in-person week, you can skip right through the first day of the in-person session, which will be happening on April 28th. At the top of the dates, you can see that there are things called full agenda and my agenda. So full agenda is basically everything that's going to happen in the conference, and my agenda is personalized. So if you can see when we're looking at the agenda here, there's a button at the right side called Add to Agenda. This will allow you to pick the sessions that you want to watch, because looking at a lot of things all at once could be overwhelming. This way you can focus on what sessions are interesting to you and that you want to highlight so that you will watch later. For example, let's say I would like to watch this session. I can just add that to my agenda. And when you add something to your agenda, Whova will also give you the option to remind you of that session. So to give you a notification either 10 minutes, 20 minutes, or 30 minutes prior. And that way, when I go to my agenda, I will be able to see the shortlist session. So you might have wondered what happened if you actually click on a session. So we're going to try with the staff rehearsal sessions. So I will click on that. And clicking on the session means you're showing that specific session's details. So as you can see, we can view the session title, the time and date, and there's also the engagement tools that you can use here. So this is very useful for people who are coming in person, because when you're joining an in-person presentation, it's hard to use your laptop. So the mobile app is what we provide to help you post questions, enter the chat to greet virtual audiences, and answer presentation polls through your mobile phone. So you can do those Q&As, polls, and chats, and also like the session without having to join the live streaming. So that will also avoid, having to hear the presentation in front of you and also a voice coming from your phone. For virtual access, you have two choices. So if you pick Watch on Desktop, this means that you will be receiving a link to open the web app and watch the session from there, from Whova, from your web application. But if you want to watch the live streaming from your phone, you need to pick Live Stream. That will lead you to the Zoom meeting. Instead of watching the session in Whova in your phone, you will be joining the session in the Zoom meeting instead. Below, you also have the choice to add your personal note. And if you add a note here, you can access it on either your phone or also in your web app, as long as you enter using the same account. And then there's the speaker information right below the notes. If this is the session you're going to be a presenter in, you can also promote this session by clicking on the share button on the top right. So doing this will show you the kind of a graphic that Whova provides that you can download and you can share in LinkedIn, Facebook, or even Twitter or X nowadays. But this is not customizable, so what you see is what you get. Besides looking at the session schedule and agenda, you can also do networking here by accessing the attendees menu. So here you can see all of the people who are coming to the conference, and the one at the top is always your profile. So you can again see the pencil button here and just edit your profile if you wish from this side as well. If you scroll down, you will be able to see everyone coming, and you probably notice a star underneath the photo of everyone. This is how you can bookmark a contact. If we go back to the top, next to the one that says all, you can also see the tab called recommended. So instead of viewing everybody, recommended is where Whova would group people based on similarities they have with you. For example, for my affiliation, I put APCDA, and Whova would recommend other people who also put APCDA in their affiliation so that I can connect with them. So for example, here I can see there's Momoko, there's Alan, there's Marilyn, Arun, and Sini. So the next step is bookmark. So when you click on the star earlier, you will be able to see that list of contacts you bookmarked from this tab. Another way to view this list is also to go through your profile by clicking the top button, and there's the thing that says my contact. Yeah, this is also the people that I have already bookmarked, not just in this conference, but also in previous events when you also use Whova with the same account. The next thing is categories. So this is basically Whova putting people in based on their roles in the conference. So for example, if you're coming in person and you want to know, is there anybody else coming in person in this conference? You can surely do that by clicking in here. And it's a long list, so if you want to find a specific person, you can also use the search button on top and simply find their name. For example, if I want to find Arun, I'll just type in his name and there he is. So that's also another way you can find people in this system. If you want to strike a public conversation or raise a discussion topic to hype up the conference, you can also do that by going to the community feature. So here you can see that there are already some social groups being created, like organizer announcement, where you can find information from conference organizers or ask organizers anything in case you need technical help with Whova. And if I scroll down, I can see there's a lot of other discussions that are already being created, like networking with neurodivergent individuals. So if you find an interesting group you want to join, you can just click on this button that says follow next to them, and you will then get notifications whenever something happens in that group. You can also post your own messages to, contribute to the discussion. But if you want to create your own, you can also do that by clicking on this button that says add a topic or social group. All you need is basically just put a title and then describe what this group is about. And you can also prompt people to post a response before viewing the discussion. You can also invite people if you want. So it's basically a very social place to be in the system. You can also send messages personally or send direct message to one specific person from the messages. If you already used Whova before, then previous messages from previous events or previous conferences will be here as well. If you want to create a new message, just click on this one on top. Find the name of the person you'd like to send a message to. Let's say I want to send a message to Arun, for example. I will have to type in my new message and just click send when I'm done with my message. Now I'm back to the home page, and perhaps as you've noticed, there are moving parts of the screen at the parts below, and those are our sponsors' rotating banners. So if you click on one of those, for example, let's click on this, you will be able to see the sponsors booth, the virtual booth that is. It is listed based on the sponsorship tier, and you can click on explore sponsor to view their booths and more information about them. Yep, there's a component description, the sessions they are sponsoring, and contact information if you want to know more about the products that they offer you. So I think that pretty much concludes our tour for the Whova mobile app. I hope this can help you navigate the system throughout the conference. Once again, thank you for joining me and thank you for spending your time to watch this video, and I will see you at the conference.